Hello friends, very good morning to all of you. So in our previous videos, we talked about authorization, token management, handling the resource. So basically in auth, we talked about like authorization server, protected resource, authorization server. So all those things we talked, right? So in this video, I'll just give you like kind of Java code snippet, which is tested and validated, where you can just use that to call authorization token. Let's say you want to build some IAM solution, right, at your own, like where you want to just test these all things, how you can test that. So this will help you to understand how you can use the authorization call, how you can call token management call, how you can just protect the resource. So this is just a well tested, validated code. So I'll just share it with you, like in the video. I'll show you also, and then I'll just put in my GitHub like repository where you can just access that, and then you can just use in your project to implement that. So let's begin. Let's start and discuss on JavaScript code listing. So I'll just show you some codes like what I have tested in the real-time applications. And this code is mainly on the JavaScript for the different functions what we have read in the auth, like authorization code. Then we have the revoke token, introspect, user info, refresh token. So whatever things we discussed in the past. So it's just like a kind of code listing for JavaScript. So if you're trying to do some testing, you can use this code to have a look if you're doing any mistake, or just to understand also you can have a look, right? So this is my GitHub repository. I'll show you this link in the description. So here, like, we have few functions here, like authorization request function, callback and token request, fetching a protected resource. Then we have introspection endpoint. Then we have refreshing an access token, and we have token revocation and user info, right? So let me open any one for now. Yeah, so authorization request function, right? So basically, how authorization works, right? If you remember that we discussed, like there will be authorized URL. You need to build that authorized URL with the response type, the client ID, secret, not secret, basically required in the authorization, but response type, client ID, redirect URI, state like that. And then based on that, like once you have the authorization complete, then you're going to go for the callback and token. That means basically you need to parse the temporary authorization code from ping federate, let's say, and then you need to build a token call through backchannel communication if your app have the backchannel communication, if it's a server-side application. And for a single page, yeah, we can go for PKC. This is a kind of like idea. It will give you that how the things work, right? Let me go to another one. So this is for the callback and token request, right? So here we have the callback and token. So basically it's just doing the validation of the state parameter. That's just required for the CSRF attack, right, to prevent. And then we have the setting up the form data, then setting up the headers, right, and then going for the token call, like with the bad token result. So it should be post call, right, where you're passing the client credentials along with the code and the secret, those things, so that you can get a token. Okay. Yeah, so you're building the authorization with the client. You can just send this form also, or you can directly pass in the body also, right, like client ID, client secret, the code part, and the redirect URI, like that. So yeah, so you have the form data, then you have the headers, and then you're doing the post call. Okay, and then you have the auth server the token endpoint that you're defining in another file. This is just a given idea, right? So how the callback and token request will work. Okay, let me show you something else also. So you have the fetching and protected resource, you have introspection, right? You have refreshing and access token, you have token revocation, you have user info. So like that, maybe it will just give you a gist of, right, how things work. Already we have discussed in the past, but again, like if you want like to see how things work, like for authorization, or for like, or let's say I'll give you an example, like let's say you're just working with some application team and they have some application and they want some understanding in terms of code, how authorization call work, how callback and token request is handled, how user info endpoint call will have handled, how like token revocation will be handled in terms of code, right? So you can just showcase this JavaScript code listing, or maybe you can just give an understanding to them, so it will be easy for them to understand and then write a code on that. So this is for the where user info endpoint, right? So user info is just like you need to get a token, right, access token, and then you can just pass that token to the user info, and then you'll get a claims, right, like based on the access token scope, you can get the claims like user ID, profile, whatever, right, like username, email address, department title, all over, whatever that you built in the OpenID Connect policy, OIDC, it can just give you those information based on the scope value. That's what we're checking here, right? So where user info endpoint, then you have the function, then it's looking for the scope value, right? So if there is no scope OpenID, it can give you the 403, right? So it's just check two condition here. One, whether the access token have a scope or not, whether access token scope have the open ID or not, and whether access token have the user or not. If any of these things are missing, it can just simply deny there, right? It will not go for any other steps. But if that is existing, like if you can see the scope exist with the open ID or with the profile, whatever, right? Because you can see in the access token, you see those information. So if your access token have these things, then it's what it's doing here. It basically just putting that in the out claim, right? As you can see in the out claim is equal to user claim based on the value exist. And then finally, like we are returning that, okay, in the form of JSON. So it's just like an idea, right? Scope, address, email, profile. So this is again, like, you know, already you have already tested in Postman, but just to give an idea of JavaScript code. So yeah, if you have any confusion, any questions, please put in the comment section. But yeah, this is just like a idea for the JavaScript code for like whatever things we read in the auth, or generally whatever used, right, in any of the apps, like you talked with the Java, ASP.NET, React, Angular, any apps, right? The same logic will be same, but the syntax, the way we are writing, it will be changing, right? So yeah, we'll jump to the next section. But yeah, if you have any questions, please put in the comment section. We can discuss again. And thank you for this.